Good morning. It's Monday morning, November 18th. Hope you're having a good morning. This morning I was reading 1Thessalonians chapters 1 through 4. And the verse I wanted to share on, actually two verses, is chapter 4, verse 11 and 12. 1 Thessalonians 4, verses 11 and 12. And to aspire to live quietly, to mind your own business, your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and to be dependent on no one. Paul here, he's speaking to the church, and he says that we aspire to live quietly and to mind your own affairs. That's his instructions to that church. He says, live quietly and pay attention to your own business, your own affairs. When we do this, there's less gossip, there's less bragging, there's less arguing, there's less disputes. When we just choose to live quietly, it doesn't mean we don't talk, doesn't mean we don't fellowship. It means that we live quietly. We do what we have to do. And then he says to work with your own hands. We don't depend upon others to support us. We work with our own hands. We do the things that God has given for us to do. And we do it quietly. He says, as we instructed you, this is how he taught the church. This is what he aspired to have the church practice, to live quietly, to mind their own business, to work with their own hands. Then he tells them why. So that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one. So outsiders won't see us arguing. Outsiders won't see us disputing, being divided. Outsiders won't have to argue with us. Outsiders won't see us bragging about our own lives. Outsiders won't see us, just wasting our time. But instead, the outsiders will see a quiet people that love one another, that get along with one another, and take care of themselves, and don't have to beg from others. Don't have to rely on one another, because God's given us our own hands. He's given us ears to listen. He's given us one mouth to speak and to fellowship with, but to work quietly. That should be our prayer for our life today and for every day. Lord, help us to not argue, help us to not brag, help us to keep to ourselves and fellowship with those that you bring along, and to love one another, but to do it quietly. And Lord, give us work that we can do with our own hands. God always provides for those who will just seek it. Like the birds, he said he provides for the birds, Jesus said. They never hunger, but they have to go out and look for it. God will supply us with whatever we need. We just need to follow him. Thanks for listening to me today.